Hi, and welcome to my channel. For those of you new, my name is Dave and I work in financial services. And these videos are a mixture and journey towards my aims of financial freedom. They will cover financial products and they will also cover financial well-being so you, like me, can reach your aims and goals sometime in the future. Now, let's get into this latest video. Now, this video is about my stocks and shares ISA review during the month of October 2022. Now, I'm not here to sell you anything, promote anything, or make recommendations. These are my own personal opinions about what's in my portfolio, how the portfolio is performed, dividends received, and the aims for it moving forwards. Somewhat slightly better month. Mainly things have settled down in the UK, shall we say. And a quick point of note, the FTSE 100 is up over 200 points during the month. A nice profit of 2.9% in the FTSE as some kind of comparison. Now, the aim of the portfolio, we're looking for an annual growth of 10%, dividends during the year of £1,200, and a year-end value of around about £80,000. Look at the following chart, just what we've done on the month and the past months. So we started up at the end of October, fund value of £64,284, showing a loss of 14.7%. The end of the month, much better position, fund value or portfolio value of £65,432, still showing a loss, but the loss has been reduced to 13.27%, a profit in the month of £1,148. Now, during the month, our platform provider fees were the same. We paid £11.49 and we made contributions of £548.70 in the month. Year to date for the tax year is £15,532.52, and looking at the following graphic, predominantly based in the UK and financial services. On that note, shall we say, the portfolio 60.11% is in UK and Europe, 25.6% is in the US and Americas, and 14.11% is in Asia and emerging markets. Now, during the month, we received no dividends from the fund. Year to date, we've received £1,501.01, so well above our expectations. And we only record the dividends across our 9 shares. Average yield is around about 5.63%. Let's look into where our holdings are within our portfolio. So first what we'll do, we'll cover our shares. So at the moment we have 9 shares. 4 in profit, 5 in loss. Makes up 43.5% of our portfolio, of which 39.32% is in the FTSE 100 shares and 4.18% is in the FTSE 250. Total shares are worth £28,460, which has shown a nice increase in the month. And during the month, we increased one of our holdings. We made a further purchase of Legal & General shares. We bought 220 shares at a cost of £498.53p. Now, we buy that on a regular dividend date or investing date, which costs us £1.50 no matter what the trade value is. But at the moment, Legal & General, very cash rich, had very good results, and it is giving a yield of over 7%. So it was bought for safety, security, but also for a very nice dividend which will be reinvested back into that company. Now, let's look at some of the shares in more detail. So our largest shareholding is Legal & General, which we just increased. We now own 3,165 shares, nearly £7,400, 11% of our portfolio. Okay, safe, secure, boring, but very cash rich, very dividend orientated. Our next holding is Lloyds. It was our biggest holding till this month. We own 16,339 shares, £6,900, 10% of our portfolio. It did have results in the quarter. Okay, profits were good, but bad debt provisions were remarkably increased because of what's happening in the centre in the future. But some very good results, but the market didn't react to, shall we say. Our next holding is Aviva, the insurance company, 1,129 shares, £4,700, makes up 7.2% of our portfolio. Again, just like Legal & General, safe, secure, boring, but a very good yield of around about 7%. Next holding is back into the banks. It's Barclays, 1,538 shares, £2,300, 3.5% of our portfolio. Some excellent results in the month as the last quarter, and it was not affected as much as our other banking holdings, mainly due to reduced provisions or bad debt provisions being accounted for. Our next holding, though, did suffer during the month. NatWest, 722 shares, £1,800, 2.7% of our portfolio. Did have some very good results, but the shares were down 10% on the day because of bad debt provisions made within the company. So the market did not react to the results very well at all, but fundamentally it was a good results, good performance, net margins were increased. Our next holding is away from the banks. It's Sainsbury's, the retailer, 831 shares, £1,600, 2.5% of our portfolio, has recovered during the month, and it will be interesting to see what happens when results are announced for the interim on the 3rd of November. So let's see how they are. Tesco's had good results. Let's see what happens to Sainsbury's. Let's see if profit margin increased, or what's happened about consumer confidence of shopping, or if the company has reduced its debts, or it increases its dividend. Our next holding is AJ Bell, the platform provider, 432 shares, £1,400, 2% of our portfolio. Some very good trading statements in the month. Assets under management have been reduced, but the number of new customers has increased substantially. But a long-term growth play, shall we say. Our next holding, recovered in the month somewhat, is Card Factory, the retailer, 2,817 shares, £1,331, makes up 2% of our portfolio, but it is very cash rich, but it is at the moment under some kind of banking or dividend restraints. But it has, over the last few months, been reducing debt, and it is very cash rich. It is, shall we say, still increasing shop outlets, and it is trying to create a greater online presence. And then our final holding is HSBC, 236 shares, £1,055, 1.6% of our portfolio. Okay, it was done as a global bank, some excellent results in the quarter, and hopefully moving forwards will be a greater sentiment away from our UK banks. So, a collection of good shares, some very good results during the quarter, but unfortunately a lot of them banking sectors, the markets did not react very kindly to future debt provisions, but all bought for long-term hold, shall we say. We've got no reason to sell them shares within the next 3 to 5 years based upon current scenarios. Now let's look at the funds held within our portfolio. So at the moment we own 13 funds, 5 in profit, 8 in loss, makes up 56.44% of our portfolio. The fund values are worth £36,926. Now I'm not going to go through our 13 funds, we can see the graphics, but just a few key notes. Our largest holding is now a passive adventures, some kind of tracker fund, across numerous sectors. Nearly £11,000, makes up 17% of our portfolio. It was done for diversification. We can just switch off. It's got very low fees. Okay, it will cover numerous sectors across the world. Our next holding, Legal & General Technology Fund, £5,600, 9% of our portfolio. Tech stocks were recovering, shall we say. We did see good buying opportunity to buy in September, but market sentiments have reacted badly over the last few days against certain of the major players, shall we say. Okay, Amazon, Facebook, all showing great losses during the last few days, but a short-term blip. But it was bought to buy numerous companies across the one sector. Next holding is increased during the month. It's a Bally Gifford positive change, quite selective, owns about 35 companies, £3,500, 5% of our portfolio. On the next holding is a global equity fund, £3,500, 5% of our portfolio, again done for diversification. And then other shares we own a US small cap, £3,000 for 5% of our portfolio. And one share that has struggled in the month is a China fund, down to £2,300, down £700 a month, but it makes up 3.5% of our portfolio. And then our last fund of note, shall we say, is a mid-cap fund, £1,900, 3% of our portfolio. We also own, shall we say, other emerging market funds. We own an AIM fund. We own a UK equity fund. Okay, down to our smallest fund, a Russia fund. We did put £500 in, went up to £600 plus. Obviously, Russia-Ukraine conflict came. It's now down to £280, but thankfully it makes up 0.43% of our portfolio. Who knows what will happen moving forwards with regard to that specific fund. So, a collection of funds, and again, we've got no reason why we should, shall we say, sell them funds. Okay, some are short-term blips, such as China, emerging markets, technology funds, but they were all bought for a reason as long-term holds. Okay, so quick recap, we've got 9 shares, 13 funds, so 22 holdings, okay, but predominantly UK based, but it has given our aim so far of annual dividends received, but at the moment we're showing, shall we say, a nice loss, but compared to the S&P 500, which is down over 25%, we also do substantially better than the markets, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. The idea is 10% year on year out. Remember, if you like the videos, smash the like button, subscribe to this channel, and we'll see you again in the next video.